Hey there, my movie fans. Welcome to Film Forge, where we cover everything movie related from reviews, reactions, news, and overall movie topics. In today's video, we will be discussing Spider-Man 4, which is really exciting. So sit back, grab a snack, pop some popcorn, and let's hop straight into the movie news. So bear with me, as I do have a lot to say on my mind, and I have a script here to help me remember everything exactly I want to say. So if it looks like I'm reading, I am, because there's a lot I want to say. So starting off, I would like to mention that Spider-Man 4 recently, in case you are unaware, has actually gotten some major updates, specifically aimed at the director. It was being reported that Destin Daniel Cretton is set to direct Spider-Man 4. Filming is eyeing to begin in early 2025. And oh my god, you guys, this is amazing news. As Destin is an amazing director who is still very fresh to the movie scene. And it is going to be great to see his envisionment for Spider-Man. And if his name sounds familiar, it's because he was the director of Shang-Chi, which in my opinion was a very good Marvel movie, and I would even go as far as to say is one of the better films post-Endgame. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. Studios currently are putting in a lot of trust towards Destin, being he's not only going to direct the next Spider-Man 4 film, but he's also going to direct Shang-Chi 2, and he's going to direct the live action Naruto movie, which will be coming eventually. I don't know really when. And honestly, after seeing some of the first fight sequences, like the ones in Shang-Chi, where he's fighting outside the building on the supports, I don't know what they're called. I think it's safe to say the Spider-Man is in some amazing hands, and Destin will do some amazing work with Spider-Man, and we should have faith in him. So really good news. Sadly, the next bit of news is not quite as good, but it is details pertaining to Spider-Man 4. Remember, this is not confirmed, but rumored to have been what the original story will be. So bear that in mind, as it is being reported that it was set to feature a street level story with Peter Parker teaming up with Daredevil to face Kingpin. Guys, if this was true, we are definitely missing out, as we all just wanted to have a grounded Spider-Man film, and what a better story than that. Fisk, and having Fisk as a villain, having Daredevil team up with Spider-Man. This is the perfect storyline, and sadly we aren't going to get this. Or at least, it seems that they have swayed away from that storyline, which is really sad. Can you imagine the fight sequences between Spider-Man and Daredevil working together? Oh my god, it would have been so poetic. Not to mention Peter as a character, when he gets involved or feels attached to a situation, he feels an urgency to solve it. And Fisk is one of those villains where I can see Peter having some personal beef, being that Fisk is messing up Peter City. And I think the same thing could be said about Daredevil, where he feels this attachment too. And it builds for this really strong connection I think that both characters could have had. And it's a shame this isn't gonna happen. Not really wanting to discuss that any further than that, but we are definitely going to be missing out. Keeping in line with the things we're missing out on, this includes a few other possible villains who have been rumored to be in Spider-Man 4, such as the Magia, Mr. Negative, Spencer Smythe, Scorpion, Prowler. And in my opinion, all of these villains would have been great for the fourth film. I mean, it would have kept things fresh. It would have allowed them to try aiming at a more grounded story. And of course, these wouldn't have been my first top choice, but they are nowhere near bottom of the barrel, and I think they would have made great additions towards Spider-Man's story. But what are y'all's thoughts? Would you have liked any of these villains, or do you prefer different villains? And if you didn't want them, then who would you like to see as a villain for the fourth film? Let me know your thoughts. Moving more into things regarding Spider-Man 4 that have not been confirmed, but are being reported to possibly happen. Now take this all with a grain of salt, as some of it may be incorrect, as nothing is confirmed. But we have firstly here a report saying that Doctor Strange's spell for Peter Parker will reportedly be broken and will also be explored further in the MCU. Now, this news makes zero sense to me. Why would you write this wonderful story to get Peter to become independent, to learn to rely on himself, making him this kid who is living in hardship, struggling, trying to make ends meet by the end of the third film, who is still choosing to be a hero against his better judgment, being completely isolated from the world? It is true that this is exactly one film later. That's not a lot of time. And I think this is lazy writing on Marvel's part if they decide to break the spell right away. It should be at least like a movie or two before they decide to break it. But let me know your guys' thoughts. I don't like this personally though. Another report being that the film is set to focus on a street level story while incorporating some multiversal elements. While I'm happy to hear that this is going to be a street level story, when I heard the parts regarding the multiversal elements, my heart kind of broke. I mean, if they happen to go in this direction of multiversal, I hope it doesn't dominate the movie. But hey, we can only wait and see. But I mean, maybe we'll have the best of both worlds. I just hope that Sony doesn't try forcing the multiversal parts, because I think we could do without them, but we'll see what happens. Some other major news that caught my attention were reports saying that this film might feature Tom Holland's Spider-Man facing off against Tom Hardy's Venom, and noting that Venom: The Last Dance could set up this interaction. I honestly am not sure how I feel about this information. If this is true, I mean, it is exciting, but I'm not sure if this is the movie where I wanted to see them fight in. And as long as it's for Peter's story, it makes sense. I mean, I'm all for it, but we've been anticipating this fight for a while. So I'm gonna let the studios cook, and maybe they'll come up with a great story. But what do you think? Should they face off in the next Spider-Man film? Or do you think that they should build up this fight or save it for like a big finale? The final report I want to cover today regarding Spider-Man news is that we have a lot of reports come in saying that Noel could potentially be the villain for Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. And honestly, I don't know if I want this to be true, because I feel it's something primarily Sony wants to happen. I think they want that to be the preferred storyline. We know that Venom in his movie will at least include a tease to Noel as a villain, and hopefully he remains in the Sonyverse, in my opinion. For Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I think this is too huge of a leap for a villain for him, at least for his fourth film, where he's supposed to be an independent hero at the moment. I would much rather see this build up. Same thing with the Venom fight. I want to see an arc, and I hope they don't ruin or affect the story negatively. With all that, that is all our movie news regarding Spider-Man 4. Just remember, this is all speculation and not confirmed, but if you happen to be sticking around till this point in the video, I really appreciate you, and thank you so much. If you haven't already, hit that like button. That is the best way to support the videos and the work I make. If you enjoyed this movie news and want more movie content like it, hit that subscribe button, as is the best way to stay up to date with all the movie news. So with all that, my Spider-Man fans, stay safe until the next one.